In 2016, the Irish birth rate was 1.9, though I saw other estimates that year of 1.99 and 2.01. In 2021, it was 1.7. I looked at the data and I estimated a breakdown of how many children Irish mothers have. Each year the breakdown is about 39% have the first child, 35% the second, 17% the third, 6% the fourth, 3% more than that. Assuming this is typical, then per 100 mothers, 39 will have 39 children, 35 will have 70, 17 will have 51, 6 will have 24, and 3 will have about 15. That is 199 from 100 mothers. The data obviously does not include women with no children at all. Taking just women who have children, the birth rate is approximately 1.99, much healthier than 1.7. If the overall value is 1.7, then 17 women are having no children per 100 who do. Clearly we need more children, but who should be having more, and how can we sell it to them? If we can get those on 0 to go to 1, then the overall birth rate goes from 1.7 to 1.85. This is not a significant change. Plus, those on 0 either cannot or will not have children. It is either not possible or not advisable for them to have children. If the most zealous feminists are childless, then we benefit from them being so. If we can get those on 1 to go to 2, then we go from 199 children from 100 women to 238, increasing the overall fertility from 1.7 to 2.03. If we can get those on 2 to go to 3, then we go from 199 to 234, from 1.7 to 2.0. If we can get those on 3 to go to 4, then we go from 1.7 to 1.85. If we can get the 1s to 2 and the 2s to 3, then we go to 2.33. If we get the 1s to 3 and the 2s to 3, then we go to 2.67. From this simple analysis, it looks as though the mothers with 1 or 2 children currently are the prime targets for more children to have the greatest impacts. But how do we do this? I am not convinced that offering money per child works. Implicitly, it tells the mother that the child is a burden and that there is compensation for it. The mother may simply decide not to have the burden. Offering money will only work on those who already intended having the child, or on those who will take the money and not spend it on the child. The former do not need encouragement, and the latter should not be encouraged. Think of a car. If you do not have one, and I offer you money to buy one, then of course you will buy one. If I then offer you more money to buy a second car while keeping the first, would you do it? What do you benefit from having 2 cars rather than 1? Similarly, having a child gives you X, whatever X may be. Having 2 children does not necessarily give you 2X. Having the first child ticks whatever box needed ticking. It does not need to be ticked again. That is why lots of people stop at 1, I bet. I believe that the incentive should be framed as a package deal, that having another child benefits the first one, or the previous ones. Rather than money to spend on the second child, why not something that is good for the second and the first as well? It is no longer about the second child only, but about both, including the first. The benefit should not be money. Money can be spent on anything, and it will trickle away over time, and the parents might not detect that it was of any benefit. Offering money for each child may help the birth rate briefly, but down the line people will look on it and say that it was not worth it. The benefit should be for the children in a way that the parents cannot get at it and use it for something else. For example, when the second child is born, the government might sign a contract to provide the costs of secondary school, university, apprenticeships, etc. for both children when the time comes. Now the easiest way to educate the first child is to have a second. This ticks the education box. Then, for the third child, the government might sign a contract to pay a share of the cost of the first house for each child, or some share of their health care, or write off their inheritance tax, or pay for the parents' health care, whatever it may be. This, I think, could be an approach to increasing birth rates. Framing it as being good for the children, parents will do anything for their children, and now anything will include having more children.